Hello everybody, my name is Donnie. If you were viewing my TikTok and you jumped over onto my channel here on YouTube, hello. It's been a while since I've been on here, but I've seen a lot of videos both on YouTube and some TikTok videos and comments on videos here on YouTube that are saying masks don't do anything. There's two kinds of masks. You have filtered, non-filtered, and then those two categories are divided amongst the capabilities of specific mask designs. But I'm not going to go too far into that because it's not really as important as what this video was created for. And I'm sorry for the shaky camera. I'm actually having to hold and record this on my phone, so I don't have a professional studio set up, and I don't plan to do that. I'm just going to record my videos the same way and learn as I go. But anyway, masks are really important. Our breath from our nostrils and our mouth can travel up to 6 feet out. It's not just the COVID-19 we need to concern ourselves with, it's other diseases that are airborne viruses. Outdoors, it's not as crucial to wear a mask because you've got the wind and the environment the environment around you that's going to interfere with this virus transmission, but it can still happen under the right circumstances. Temperatures are just right, there's no wind, but anyway, I'm getting off topic here a little bit, but it's all relevant. The places you should be wearing a mask, any enclosed building or enclosed space where there's more than just yourself. It's very, very important that when you put it on a certain way as well. But we'll get into that later on in this video, because there is a right and wrong way to put on these masks. Most of your masks are put on with little ear flappy doodads that hold it in place on your face. Wear it above the nose, just right about here, so that you have it covering both your nose and your mouth. It's crucial because, yes, out the nose it will travel downward, but it is still possible to infect other people that are shorter than us, mainly kids. For those of us that are, tall enough, I'm only 5'6", but there are still people shorter than me that if I breathe out through my nose, I could pass it on. COVID-19 and other transmissible diseases that are airborne diseases, flu is another one that's a big one, can travel through air, mainly through carriers. You don't have to have symptoms of a disease to have it. It's called asymptomatic. These viruses and bacteria that can transmit that way or exist within a human host have no symptoms. So it is still possible that you are a carrier, which means you are infecting the people around you. Even the blue masks that you see, and I will grab an example real quick. I apologize for the camera shaking like that. I actually make them. But anyway, the blue masks that you see most commonly, the disposable ones you wear one time and then you throw them away, they come in many varieties of different pack sizes and numbers and whatnot, but I'm getting off topic again. Those do not filter the air so much as they keep moisture and thus bacteria and viruses contained for the most part. They don't actually filter as much as you would think. It cuts the distance in which those molecules can travel from 6 feet to 3 feet. Remember, just because you're a certain height doesn't mean the stuff coming out your nose can't get the ones that are shorter than you, mainly children. Especially for those of us that are a little taller than most. I'm not really that tall, I'm about average. But anyway, the filtered masks, what they do is when you breathe in, obviously it passes through the mask and through these filters, and these filters filter out the air that's coming in. Those masks are referred to as N95 series masks. Anything that can filter it, those are the classifications at the top of the rung. Like I said earlier, there are two main categories, filtered and non-filtered, and then it's broken down into further categories depending on the capabilities of those masks. The filtered masks have a lot more categories underneath it because certain masks are designed to filter certain things. The general sense is that the filtered masks will protect both the wearer and those around them. But any face covering is going to be just like the non-filtered masks. It's just going to stop the vapors that are in your breath that can carry the viruses and bacteria that can be spread to other human beings from going as far. If we social distance and wear a mask and wash our hands or sanitize them, hand sanitizing is not a substitute for washing your hands, but it's good in a pinch, because it's not always possible for us to, walk up and use a sink, because the sink's not always available. So if you want to be the extra cautious person and think of your fellow man, carry a small bottle of hand sanitizer with you. Anytime you touch a doorknob, anytime you, like me, I work in the service industry fixing cell phones. Unfortunately, our cell phones, if you were to put them under the right kind of lighting, you would see, and it would disgust you. Because every time you touch a surface and then you touch your phone, whatever was on that surface is now on your phone. So it's called a vector. Doorknobs, phones, items that come in contact, counters that are in public places, public bathrooms, tabletops, they're all vectors for viral contaminants and bacterial contaminants. It is very, very, very important that, and I know this video is getting kind of long, but that was the point of me putting it on YouTube and a shorter video on TikTok. We're in this together, guys. We're not going to, yes, things are phasing back into normal routines, but we're not done yet. We're still in this. This is still going to be a problem for a little while longer. Yeah, we're not under as harsh quarantine procedures as we once were, and we can go back to work and whatnot, but we're still not done. We need to be wearing masks. I take a public bus each and every day, and I work in a mall, which means that for about an hour while I'm on that bus, I'm being exposed to every germ and virus that everybody on that bus that's sitting on that bus is carrying with them. Please wear your mask. This COVID-19 is no joke. It's not the flu. It's killing people. Wear a mask, especially on those tin can things we call a public bus. I work at a mall, which means I'm exposed all day at work. I wear a mask all day. It is a non-filtered mask, but I work behind a counter that is 3 foot across. So when I'm behind that counter and I'm wearing that mask, you're safe from me, who is, because I am there for 4 hours and an hour on a bus, one way, I gotta go home too, I could easily be exposed to COVID-19. I'm not, okay? I have no symptoms and have greatly, the only travel I did during this whole lockdown was Walmart, Dollar General, and home. That's it. I cut everything else out. I didn't even so much as I should have probably video chatted people, but that's okay. Like I was saying, these masks are so important. This isn't a joke. This is the real deal, guys. We're in this, and we got to get through this. We can't do it if we continue to infect each other. And just because if you're one of those people who caught it before, doesn't mean you can't get reinfected. Wear a mask. If you've been through it, you know what kind of suffering you're going to go through if you catch it again. And if you're lucky enough to, well, I wouldn't say it's luck. It's more of, if you're unfortunate enough to have already caught it, it does not mean you're immune to it. You might actually end up catching it, and because your body has fought it off before, you'll be asymptomatic this time around. That's about as good as it gets if you catch it again. And that means that you'll spread it to people. I don't really want to be sick. Nobody does. And we're quickly coming upon flu season. If we don't push this thing away from us, and that flu season hits at the same time, it's gonna hurt us. It's gonna do bad things. So wear your masks, maintain social distancing. If you're outdoors, and you're not near, and you're maintaining social distancing, you're not around a lot of people, it's okay to take your mask off because the particle density for the viral load is not as high. But if you're in any building, no matter its size, put your mask on. Because every time somebody lets a breath out, that increases the number of particles in the air, and eventually those numbers are going to get high enough where it can continue to spread. If you touch a countertop in a public place, if you touch a doorknob, if you can't wash your hands after you open the mall doors at your local mall, fine. Get some hand sanitizer. I'm pretty sure that your local mall has hand sanitizing stations all over it. I know ours does. Sometimes they're not got any sanitizer in them, but at my work, we keep a huge bottle of sanitizer right underneath our register. Every time I come back from a smoke break, I sanitize my hands with it. If I have time, because there's no customers, I go back in our little bathroom in the back and I wash my hands. It is so important that we try to fight this thing with every tool we have in our arsenal. One of them is masks. If you're going to ride public transportation, please, please, please carry your mask. That in place is that it is such a huge vector inside of a bus because it is a small, contained place with a lot of number of people on it. And I'm not going to try and hold my breath for 40 minutes because other people are not wearing a mask. It's not about you. If you can't get a hold of a filtered mask and you only can get your hands on a blue mask, do it. It helps. Protect everyone else. There is the chance that you could be carrying it and not know it. We're in this together. Yeah, a lot of the quarantining and stuff like that has been lifted, all of the lockdowns and having to stay home, but we're not done yet. We got to get through this. We got to put a stop to this before this flu season gets here, or it's going to make it that much harder for us to live. We may end up having to go back on another lockdown if we can't get the numbers down. Let me see if there was anything I didn't mention. And I apologize for having to make my first video in what would be nearly 9 years of being on YouTube, 9 years since I've been on YouTube, being a rant video about masks. But it is so important. For those of you who want to know where I get my medical knowledge from, I was a specialist in the Army National Guard, and I carried what they call a combat lifesaver certification the entire time for 5 years, and I did another year, 10 months in the Air Force, and they have the self-aid buddy care. We learned a lot about different things, and one of them was basic pathology of how germs and viruses are transmitted and what we can do as soldiers to protect each other from catching diseases while we're doing field exercises and out in the field and doing our jobs out there. And then my mom was a medical assistant. My dad was a first responder. My stepdad and my mom were both first responders in the fire department, and they had a medical side to their training. So there's a lot of medical knowledge that backs up what I'm saying. And I've done a lot of, during this pandemic, I paid attention a lot to what the credible news sources were saying, and read a lot of articles on this from the CDC about this thing, because I wanted to know. I work in a public place, as many do. I come in contact with many people every day. So I wanted to know what I could do to protect y'all, what you should be doing to protect me. Yeah, during the lockdown, I was out of work because I worked in a mall. The repair shop I work at is in a mall. So we were shut down. But had a different circumstance occurred and we were not inside the mall, we would have been considered essential because we repair phone technology. We are a technology industry. We're in the technology industry maintaining the infrastructure of the cell phone services by maintaining individuals' cell phones. So we would have been open. It is so important that I wear a mask, because I am for 5 hours, if I add in my travel time, for 7 hours a day minimum, I'm exposed to a lot of different people. That means that if I end up being a carrier with no symptoms, I could give it to you if I'm not wearing a mask. That's why I take my mask everywhere I go. The only time you will not see me in a mask is in 2 circumstances. I'm at home, and I'm traveling from the bus stop to my house because I walk, and I'm in an open area, and it is safe to do so as long as there's not a lot of people around me. And of course, I social distance everywhere I go, and I still limit where I go. For the last 3 months, I've only been home, the mall, Walmart, and Dollar General because I am concerned about this situation. It is so important. We're not done yet, guys. Just because things are not on lockdown anymore doesn't mean this thing is gone. It just means we need to get back to work so our economy doesn't fall apart. We need to work together. Please wear your masks when you're in public. It's not just you that you need to be concerned about. It's the people around you. Because if you're not doing what you need to do, you could be responsible for killing a lot of people because you give it to somebody and they give it to somebody and they give it to somebody. Or they go home and they give it to their family or roommates. I've got a roommate. He works in the service industry too, literally 2 or so shops down from me. He wears a mask all day long at work. I've seen him do it. He does not wear it at home because, well, we're at home. I have a little Tupperware. Suggestions on your mask? Yeah, mine's got some purple stuff in it because the mask I was wearing had dye in it, but that's alcohol, 90% alcohol. Or you can use 70%, whatever it is, 50%, 70%, 90% alcohol, it doesn't matter. Put your mask in it, dunk it under, keep it under there for a couple of, count to 5, and then hang it up and let it dry for the next day. Okay, if you can get those disposable ones, then you don't need to do that. But if you have a mask that you can wash and rewear, sterilize that thing. Keep people safe. And I'm going to go ahead and end this video because it's a really long video. It's already it's just passing 17 minutes. I hope you guys have a great night. I know I'm recording this video pretty late, but I thought it was important enough for me to jump on here and say something about what's going on here. Watch for my next videos. They should be fun. I'll be talking about just general stuff, funny videos. I'll put links in. I'm going to do a bunch of fun things. There is going to be one more serious video that I'm going to put out there, but I'm probably going to put a couple fun ones up first. I'm also going to be talking about religious beliefs, my personal beliefs, other beliefs. I'm very much a spiritual person and have learned a lot through my years. Because of my military career, I learned a lot about other people's faiths and whatnot, and I want to do some debunking videos about certain things, about my own personal beliefs, and things that are believed about other people's beliefs that just are not true. So anyway, I hope you guys probably didn't really enjoy this video, but I hope it was at least informative. I hope that you enjoy my future videos and that you find them funny or fun or educational or something in some way entertaining. I hope you enjoy my channel. Yes, I have been gone for quite some time, for those of you out there who recognize me. I'm quite a bit older than I was back then, but yeah, I've gotten a long video on this one. If there's anybody out there that would like to know more about any topic I talk about, please comment below. Like and subscribe if you do. I don't really expect to get too many people on here liking this video, but who knows. You guys have yourselves a good night, and be safe out there, and protect each other. We're in this together.